So the Redbirds continued their fire sale yesterday, and one of the most notable guys to go for the Redbirds was relief pitcher Jordan Hicks. Now, the Redbirds and the Bluebirds, aka the Blue Jays, were in agreement on a deal for Jordan Hicks. This is according to Jeff Passan. He tweeted out yesterday at 3:30 that the Toronto Blue Jays are finalizing a trade to acquire right-handed reliever Jordan Hicks from the Cardinals. Sources tell ESPN. Now, this trade came in lieu of Jordan Romano being placed on the injured list. So he says this is arguably the best option, best relief option the Blue Jays had out there in the market for them. And I undoubtedly agree with him. I think Jordan Hicks will do great things in Toronto. That fastball is electric, 104 plus miles an hour. It's insane. One of the more underrated relief pitchers, I'd say, this year. Especially, considering he's on a really bad Cardinal team. So I think this is a great deal by the Jays here. And of course, John Heyman confirmed it. And Mark Feinsand also verified this trade as well. Now, the Redbirds weren't done. They did not just trade away their closer, but they also traded away their starting pitcher, Jordan Montgomery, to the Texas Rangers, who have made their big push ahead of this deadline. This is the full trade details, according to Jeff Passan. It says the Rangers receive left-handed pitcher Jordan Montgomery and right-handed pitcher Chris Stratton in exchange for infielder Thomas Sagas, right-handed pitcher Tico Robbie, and left-handed pitcher John King. They get another starter, the Rangers, to help bolster their rotation and help them continue their push to a division crown. Now, the Halos also continued their push in regards to being buyers at this deadline and did buy two big bats from Colorado. The Angels acquired C.J. Cron, Randall Grichuk, and cash from the Rockies in exchange for left-handed pitcher Mason Albright and right-handed pitcher Jake Madden. This deal's also been finalized and is done as I speak. Now, before we go any further, guys, please consider checking out my brand new vlog from the south side of Chicago. Me and Hayden saw the Red Sox take on the White Sox from Guaranteed Rate Field. The link is right above my head, and it will also be at the conclusion of this video. I'd appreciate it. And now the Rays made an interesting move as they acquired right-handed pitcher Aaron Savelli from the Cleveland Guardians in exchange for first base prospect Kyle Manzardo. This is according to Mark Topkin of the Tampa Bay Times. Rosenthal also confirmed the news, as he said, "Source confirms to me and Jim Bowden, Rays acquiring Aaron Savelli from the Guardians." And of course, John Heyman chimes in about 10 minutes later and just says Aaron Savelli to Rays. That's a hell of a bombshell, John. Hell of a bombshell. But anyways, here's a scouting report I saw on Twitter regarding Manzardo. It says Manzardo had an incredible full season debut for the Rays, slashing .327, .426, and .617 between high A and double A, just a year removed from the draft, with 22 home runs and almost as many walks, 59, as strikeouts, 65. And that's despite missing a month early in the season with mononucleosis. He's a very disciplined hitter who posts strong exit velocities without a huge swing. So his power is more of a line drive than a big fly ball, and he may be a 40 to 50 doubles guy rather than a 30 home run guy. Now, he's also shown himself to be more than a capable defender. This scout says, "I suppose someone could try to alter his launch angle for more of that home run power, but Manzardo is plenty valuable as he is. Someone who might hit 300 to 320 with walks and doubles while playing above average defense at first base," which really is invaluable. People underrate defensive first basemen, but I'll tell you, a good defensive first baseman makes your shortstop, makes your second baseman, and your third baseman win Gold Gloves. So if your first baseman's really good, then that makes your entire infield that much better. So that is a positive, I would say. So yeah, that's an interesting pickup, I'd say, for the Guardians, who again are still half a game behind the first place 500 Minnesota Twins. So yeah, we'll see how this guy plays out. It looks like he should be in the big leagues next season. So I think this is a decent trade for Cleveland. I don't know why they trade Cervelli in the first place, considering they're half a game back. The Guardians understand where they're at, and this is all a financial type of move. I mean, the Guardians are kind of like the Rays in a weird way. Like, if they're in first place, you have no problem going for it, but if they're not in first place by the deadline, they won't push it. And they're not even pushing it being half a game back. It's not like they're 3 or 2.5 games back. They're half a game. I mean, they could wake up tomorrow and be in first place with the way the Twins are going. So that's interesting to me. Now, Passan also tweets out the D-backs are finalizing a trade to acquire closer Paul Sewald from the Seattle Mariners. So that's an interesting one. I believe that is probably already official by now. So the Mariners are a team who, like a lot of other teams this year, being the Padres, the Mets, the Yankees, have been disappointing. It looks like the Mariners and the Guardians don't believe they can make the playoffs or are good enough to be in the playoffs, I guess you could say is a better word. I mean, can they make it? Sure. But do they realistically believe that their roster can make a deep playoff push in October? I believe that answer is no for both teams. They don't think they can go deep, and they're making moves that suggest that notion. Now, according to Will Salmon of The Athletic, he tweeted out that the Brewers have acquired outfielder Mark Canha from the New York Mets. Now, in return, the Mets will be getting minor league right-handed pitcher Justin Jarvis. Now, Jarvis was ranked number 30 in the Brewers organization, according to MLB.com. He had a 3.33 ERA in 14 AA starts, but he did struggle in AAA, having ERA over 10. Now, he is Rule 5 eligible after the season, so in order to protect him for the Mets, they would have to put him on the 40-man roster the minute they acquire him. So this is an interesting one. I mean, Mark Canha was the guy to go. I mean, we all knew he was going to leave, and they were going to trade him. I mean, the minute they trade Scherzer, Mark Canha and Tommy Pham are the obvious, next two to walk out the door. It's just so happened that Scherzer went first and not Canha and Pham. So, but, now that Canha is gone, we'll see what they do with Verlander. I think Pham's gone by now. But Verlander's the big question mark. They're tearing this thing down. They're stripping it, man. They are stripping it. No one is safe, aside from, Brandon Nimmo and Starling Marte, because they have awful contracts, and Kenta Maeda, because he's really good. But no one's safe in New York right now. No one is safe. And now we have all these tweets from multiple different reporters saying that the Cubs have reacquired Jeimer Candelario from the Washington Nationals. Now remember, Candelario was originally in the Cubs organization. He was traded a while back to the Tigers in exchange for Alex Avila, the catcher. But yeah, now he went from the Tigers to the Nationals. Now he's back to the Cubs. Now John Paul Morosi had the full trade. Candelario to the Cubs for DJ Hertz and Kevin Made. That's the Candelario deal. And now Passan tweeted out that the Giants are finalizing a deal to acquire A.J. Pollock from the Seattle Mariners. So Pollock goes back to the NL West. He's been with 3 NL West teams. He's been with the Dodgers, the D-backs, now the Giants. So he's familiar with that division and will probably do quite well in the National League. Now, according to Jeff Passan, the Reds acquired lefty reliever Sam Maul from the Oakland A's in exchange for right-hander Joe Boyle. And also, the Cubs acquired right-handed pitcher Jose Cuas, I believe that's how you pronounce it, from the Royals in exchange for Nelson Vasquez. And, well, there is the big deal we've been waiting for. Bob Nightingale tweeted out, Justin Verlander has been traded back to the Houston Astros. Wow. I'm quite shocked this happened. I mean, I know it was rumored a lot, this deadline, that he could go back to Houston. I thought maybe LA would be more of a player for him, but apparently he wants to go back to Houston, which makes a lot of sense considering he did have a full no-trade clause, and why wouldn't he want to go back to Houston, right? A winning organization. They know how to win. Championship caliber team. This might put them over the top in that division. They might surpass the Texas Rangers in a week from now and, win the AL West once again. And again, confirming it is MLB on Fox. They tweeted out Verlander back in an Astros uniform. How about that? So please please comment, and subscribe to this channel if you want to stay updated on the trades here at this deadline. And as always, I'll catch you later.